It sounds like you're ending a business with me.
Well, endings are new beginnings, my friend.
Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the last episode of Accelerativ Thrust.
Yes, but pretty soon we will be introducing the new first bounce houses of the Accelerativ Thrust.
Oh, okay.
Citizens of Earth, welcome to the Accelerativ Thrust podcast. My name is Dan.
And I'm Erik.
Something strange. Something strange is amiss.
There's something strange
is that a right
in
word?
the neighborhood.
Yeah. Who are you going to call? Bounce houses.
Bounce houses.
Did you ever play in a bounce house?
The real bounce houses. Sorry.
The real bounce houses.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I probably did, and then hit my head real hard, and then had a concussion, and then forgot it.
Nope, this isn't for me. Guessing. What about those big things full of balls, like a Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza, things like that?
Ball pits.
Ball pits. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in one of those either.
Really?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I used to love that stuff. It's probably why I probably inhaled too many plastic particles or something.
Microplastics.
Microplastics.
And you're not supposed to eat the balls in the ball pit.
Oh, shoot.
They're not just giant trick cereal. You know?
Oh, man. Trix used to be one of my favorites.
Till they added purple? Me too.
What? They always had purple.
That purple sucks. I hate purple. Purple tastes so gross. Ugh.
Doesn't it all just taste the same? It's just different food colorings.
The purple tastes like real bitter. I don't like it. Yeah, anything. Ugh. Yeah, no, I'm not into it.
So you don't like grape stuff, like grape soda, grape.
Yeah, I like that. It's more like in I don't know, like corn-based products or whatever. I don't know. Like cereal, whenever they add purple, I'm like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm. So okay, all right. So gum and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also I don't like green apple. And when Skittles added green apple, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, that's
sorry about my language, but like it's crazy. And instantly everyone was like, "This sucks. We want lime back." And they're like, "Nope, we know what's best."
We know what's best for you.
Yeah, they did it for like 10, 15 years. And then they're like, you know what? You were right. Lime's better. We're just going to change it back. That's so stupid.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Anyway, Skittles.
No, I don't like green apple stuff, but I'm also not really a huge fan of Skittles anymore. Do you remember when Skittles came out with the chocolate Skittles?
No, I don't.
Yeah, they had chocolate Skittles. It had the potential to be good, but it was really bad.
Was it like the consistency of a regular Skittle, but just chocolate flavored?
Yeah, what it was like 3 different colors. It was like black, brown, and white. So it was like, and what it was supposed to be is it was called like brownie mix or something, or like brownie mix Skittles or fudge brownie Skittles or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It's really weird when I have an upset stomach and I have to use the bathroom a lot. I actually call that the fudge brownie Skittles.
The fudge brownie Skittles.
God! I got the fudge brownie Skittles. I gotta go.
I mean, that's basically where they belong.
Bathroom
is in the toilet.
That's what we're reduced to now.
Absolutely. So yeah, Starburst was always my jam when it came to like the fruit candies.
Brown Starburst? That's actually what I call it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, aren't we?
Yeah. What do you want to do about it?
You know what I want to do? I want to talk about something else that is cool, and that is music.
Oh, I love music.
Yeah, I love music too, like records.
Yeah, they're the best.
Specifically, this record that I picked for this episode. Is that okay with you, Erik?
Yeah.
We talk about this? All right.
Come on, everybody. It's record time.
My pick for a record to review is from this band called Frankie and the Witch Fingers. And the name of the record is called Trash Classic. Just came out this year. So Frankie and the Witch Fingers are from LA. Members are Dylan Sizemore, Josh Minash, Nikki Pickle, Nikki Aguilera, and John Modoff. And so I discovered this group by two avenues, actually. The first one is a while ago. They were on KEXP, and I saw a little bit of their live performance. But then our honorary enemy, Chuck, he recommended that I check out this new album. So I did. And say what you want about the enemy, but the enemy became my friend, at least for the duration of listening to this album, Erik, I must confess. But he went right back to being the enemy, like shortly after. You know? But this album is a blast. It's very fun from beginning to end, very catchy, and it delves into some straight up weirdness that I also dig. There's a lot of different elements that kind of make up the puzzle, I think. It's sort of it's a culmination of new wave, no wave, garage, proto and egg punk, even a little bit of metal, and I think definitely a straight up classic rock influence. The production, I think, is very colorful sounding, and it's very animated, has a lot of personality. One of the things that I think sells it right away is the singer's voice, who I believe is Dylan Sizemore. It just has this presence that it just adds to the fun nature of the whole thing. There is a huge presence of synthesizers all throughout the record. Some of it sounds like straight up, I don't know, like video game music, chip tunes, maybe perhaps. But there's also some kind of more, I don't know, experimental spacey stuff kind of going on. The guitars and bass are very fuzzy. The drumming is fantastic. Sometimes I think that it sort of does that thing where it is trying to replicate a drum machine kind of, but there's a lot of skill and a lot of the instrumentation that's going on here, I think. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. One of the things that I think is really fantastic about it also is the guitar work. The guitar work is just straight up like, well, it's not straight up. It's not really straight up anything. But I mean, it definitely, as I mentioned, the classic rock influence. There's some shredding that goes on here. And it's, I don't know, it's in your face. And the album just doesn't let up in its weirdness that kind of goes on like all over the place and doesn't really let you rest. And I don't know. I don't really have much more to say about it. I think, I think it's, if you're into like all of the genres that I mentioned, you would love it. What did you think, Erik?
So I'll start with like my mini review. I love the sound of this. I love the overdriven bass, the angular guitars, the processing on the vocals, especially when they have like these kind of like little kid vocals. That happens a few times. It's pretty cool. I really like the rigid mechanical style drumming, like you mentioned. The synths are heavy and crazy. Overall, it's a super wild, fun listen. And I think it has all kinds of influences, just like you said. And I had listened to the Data Doom record, the one before this, by Frankie and the Witch Fingers. And it had elements of like egg punk and d.i.y and stuff, but more like a psych group that had those elements, you know? But this record to me really sounds a lot like d.i.y, like a lot. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, obviously, I've loved d.i.y for a really long time. I'm no like Johnny come lately about it, you know, or actually come back Johnny Come Lately. No, I'm just kidding. Devo joke. Anyway, it's almost distracting how Devo it is at times. I really did enjoy it. I don't want this to come off like I'm ragging on it or anything, but it made me think about something. Like, okay, this is going to seem really abstract, but there's this thing, an idea, scientific theory called carcinization. And the idea is that everything is evolving into crabs, not just crustaceans, but other types of animals, like a convergent evolution where everything ends up basically a crab. And I kind of feel like that happens with bands veering into Devo. And it's funny. Like this group, Man or Astro Man, was almost straight surf at the beginning, and by the end, very Devo. It happened with the Aquabats, with the Floating Eyeball of Death. It happened with the OCs, the record we just covered, And so it's kind of funny to me. It's like when you get some Devo in you, then it just starts to slowly take over everything. And I don't know. I think it's a weird thing, and I'm obviously not above it. I've been through this Devo de-evolution crab evolution process myself, but yeah. So I guess, like I said, I'm not like saying anything negative about this record. I love it. It's super fun, but without a doubt, I can say if you like Devo, you will like this. If you don't like Devo, you won't like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Sure.
it's just so like that thing. And like you said, there's tons of other stuff going on. There's tons of different influences. Definitely there's like a garage kind of rock revival kind of feel to it, like Jay Retard, and even things like the Hives or something. That makes its way in there. There's all kinds of influences. It's just every once in a while it gets a little too Devo for me, which I know sounds insane for me to say that. But yeah, all the way through, I loved it. I listened to it a few times. I thought it was super great. I love all the sounds. But yeah, I don't know. It just when you take it all into an overview of things, like not just now when there's a lot of egg punk happening, and that's like a current version of it. But even in like the late 90s, you had Devo putting stuff out, like the Wipeouters, their surf record. They were doing the Rocket Power theme, the Power Puffs, that kind of stuff. But you also had like Servotron and the Poly 6 and Causeway and like all that kind of stuff. It just seems at some point that their influence is ubiquitous. Like you can't get away from it. And I just think that's really a wild thing that this band, they probably don't even, and I'm not saying they're not egotistical. To listen to Jerry Casale or Mark Mothersbaugh is almost unbearable at times, but I still don't even think they honestly understand the influence that they've had on underground music as a whole at this point. It's pretty overwhelming and pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Frankie and the Witch Fingers, Trash Classic, is totally awesome. Super fun. I'm not saying they're ripping anyone off. I'm not saying it's anything like that. I don't think it's revivalist. I think it is very interesting and very authentic and independent. I think all that is there. I just had to mention that, like, it is some heavy Devo worship. So anyway, and it just made me think about all these other aspects of Devo and like just the influence they've had. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, definitely if you like anything like that, or like anything Dan, that I mentioned, and I'm sure Dan will mention for his recommended if you like, you're going to like this. You're going to have a lot of fun listening to it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
So I definitely agree with you about the Devo thing for sure. I think Devo's footprints are all over it, just like I think Devo, like you said, they kind of exist in all egg punk, like that's just going to be the way it is. I think Devo are probably single-handedly the most influential group on the whole thing.
Yeah,
I would have to say. But some of the other things that this really reminded me of, to me, there were times where the singer's voice really delved into Gary Newman territory.
Yeah.
And I would say Tubeway Army, specifically the first Tubeway Army album, the self-titled one. Like you mentioned Jay Reatard and the OCs. Also, I would say there's a lot of Six Finger Satellite and Trans Am, which kind of goes hand in hand with the classic rock influence.
Yeah,
like Six Finger Satellite were basically Jesus Lizard with a synthesizer for a while, you know? Yeah. And Jesus Lizard is kind of, I mean, their DNA is in like classic rock, you know, hands down. So then I go into like the classic rock and maybe what some of the guitar work reminded me of, besides Jesus Lizard, because I definitely think there's part of that going on, but also some of the classic rock, like actual classic rock bands, like, okay, I hear like some ZZ Top going on, like in the guitar work, and Thin Lizzy and AC/DC, right?
Yeah.
The Stooges. There is kind of a little bit of a surf punk thing kind of going on, which this has an overall party vibe too for me. Like, I think, so I don't know, I hear like the B-52's influence here too. But then, and this is particularly on the last song, excellent closer. And what that reminded me of straight up was Chrome.
Yeah, I can hear that for sure. Yep.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of things going on here for sure. I'm curious about this because, and I'm sure I've asked you this question, you've probably answered it on the podcast already. But what is your favorite Devo album?
Oof. You know, it's actually kind of tough.
Smooth Noodle Maps?
Nope, not Smooth Noodle Maps. The first record I really got into was Oh No, It's Devo, which most people would think is kind of lame as far as things go, but I really still like to put it on. I got to be honest, the classic albums, that means up to Oh No, It's Devo, I would not include Shout in there personally. They're all amazing. Duty Now is amazing. They're all amazing in their own ways, too.
Yeah, they are.
Like New Traditionalist is so clean and the production's so tight compared to the first record, but it still has really cool songs.
It really does.
And yeah, like Beautiful World is on that. They're all great. I don't know.
Fantastic.
If I was going to put one on, though, I usually land on Duty Now.
Okay.
Because it's wild still, like really wild. Like Swelling Itching Brain is nuts. But it's still crazy, but it's not quite as polished as Freedom of Choice and New Traditionalist.
Yeah.
I don't know. All of those first records are just great, though. How about you?
Mine is the first one. Are We Not Men? We Are Devo.
It's great.
That to me is just like, it doesn't get any better. Well, I mean, it does in some ways because, like you said, Duty Now for the Future, Freedom of Choice, and New Traditionalists all are amazing in their own right.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, that one has Mongoloid on it, man.
Yeah.
And that to me is, I don't know. I don't want to say peak because, like I said, they have put out stuff that's as good as that since then. But like, I don't know. That's probably my favorite d.i.y song.
I think also I would throw in there the Greatest Misses compilation. It has a lot of things that weren't necessarily on records or not the versions anyway. Like Penetration in the Centerfold. Seriously, the coolest Devo song. Like, seriously. And then the Hardcore Volumes 1 and 2 are both really cool, too.
Yeah, they're
like just old stuff, you know?
Yeah, and they were really, really wild back then.
Yeah,
like, they did a lot of stuff that was like, it was almost on like Chrome territory type stuff.
Yeah, you know? Or even Resonance at times.
Or Resonance,
like,
yes.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Man, I could talk about Devo all day.
They're definitely like one of those bands. You know, you can't deny their influence, even if you can't stand them. You know, they're there whether you like them or not.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh man, well, geez, I don't even know what else we got to talk about. We could talk about what we're listening to.
There you go. Okay. Sounds good to me. How about you start this time, Erik?
I haven't been listening to too much. I've been kind of listening to some books on tape instead. But a couple things I've been listening to. There's a project, I don't know who it is or if it's a group or just a person, but it's called Tommy Gunn, TOMMIGUNN, which I kind of think is what maybe how an old boxer named Tommy Gunn spelled his name. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's the record's called Destroying Angel, and it's kind of like chill wave stuff, maybe kind of like Perfume Genius or something, but with like really mellow industrial noise hip hoppy elements, like just under the surface kind of. It's really good. I've been listening to a record called Pacing the Hollow by Burial Hex, and it's kind of like ritualistic electronic folk, maybe. So like Psychic TV or like early Psychic TV or Current 93 or something like that. And then I've been listening to the album Thirst by Clock DVA, which we all know what they sound like. So that's about it, though. Not a lot. How about you?
Yeah, I haven't really been listening to a lot either. So I checked out this album from the group The Fall called Mansion. That was really cool. I've had a couple of people recommend them to me and just never got around to checking them out over the years. And then the other things I've been listening to are really just continuations of stuff that I've said the last couple of weeks. I haven't really been listening to anything new. So I know that last week I said I listened to Last Splash by the Breeders.
Yeah.
I decided to give Title TK another go.
Hell yeah.
Never disappointed. Never.
Nope.
Yeah, brilliant album. It really is.
Yeah, now you just have to listen to Mountain Battles.
I have listened to Mountain Battles before, but I don't remember it. So yeah, I'm going
pretty good.
I'm going down a rabbit hole with that. Beatles again, man. I've really been revisiting the Beatles albums, and I'm just forgetting how amazing the Beatles really are.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
So yeah, I checked out the Magical Mystery Tour, and that was kind of at your recommendation.
Nice.
And I came to the conclusion, let me know if you think I'm crazy here. But
sure.
I think there's a possibility that the whole Elephant Six Collective sound would not exist if that album didn't exist by the Beatles.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the Elephant Six takes a lot specifically from the Beatles, or did, back in the day. But I also think what the Beatles influenced had a big influence too, like the Zombies and the Kinks and things like that. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, huge influence.
Then the other record that I've been listening to is the White Album.
Yeah.
And I got to say, man, I forgot how much I actually listened to the White Album in the past. So it is the album that is the Beatles album that I've spent the most time with.
Oh wow, cool.
Like way back in the day. I also listened to Sgt. Pepper's and Revolver quite a bit too. Mm-hmm. But the White Album is the one that I've spent the most time with.
Yeah.
It is almost impossible for me to pick a favorite Beatles record at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
There's kind of this sort of like rebellion that happens against the Beatles. I've kind of noticed, like, where it's sort of like, oh, I think the Beatles are overrated.
Oh, for sure.
I can definitely see that, but they are one of the few examples where I would actually say, I think there's a reason why they're so overrated.
Well, I think they're overrated, but also in the grand scheme of things, probably still underrated, to be honest. So I guess that means they're just perfectly rated.
Yeah, I think that the Beatles are, I can't think of very many other bands that, you know, took songwriting to that level.
For sure. Yeah, there's there's like ground zero type people, you know, or bands or whatever. And it's like, you don't have to like them. I personally don't like Elvis Presley very much. Like, I like some of it, like the Sun Sessions, really awesome. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I don't think Elvis is awesome. Like, he was an ambassador for rock and roll, and he may have ripped off all the black artists and all that stuff, but he spread rock and roll to the world. It's like, there's no way you can deny that.
No,
and it's kind of like the Beatles were the same way. They kind of created what pop music is, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Before that, it was kind of like Lawrence Welk and stuff like that. Like, the Beatles really changed a lot of stuff. Like,
they really did.
We had rock and roll, but that was still a holdover from country and blues and bluegrass and stuff, you know? And so, I don't know. They kind of changed what pop music is.
For sure, they did.
Take that away from them. Just because
I think them and
loves them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think them, and I think to a lesser degree the Beach Boys, you could say too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because I think I'm not sure. Well, at least Sgt. Pepper's probably wouldn't exist without Pet Sounds. You know.
Yeah.
So, but
sure.
But the Beatles,
the Beatles rule.
They really do. And
if you disagree, if you hate the Beatles, if you're some kind of edgelord, then go ahead and reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out to us and let us know why you hate the Beatles.
Yes, tell us how we're wrong. Because I'm willing to hear your opinion.
Yeah. The other thing that I also wanted to say is I actually went back and listened to because this Frankie and the Witch Fingers album made me very curious. So I went back and listened to a couple of Frankie and the Witch Fingers albums. And Data Doom is one of them. And then the other one is their very first album called Sidewalk.
Okay.
Which came out I think in 2015. And it is straight up, like, it honestly doesn't even sound like the same band. It's like straight up like the garage stuff that you heard coming from like early, like, I don't know, Black Lips or something, or Ty Segall or something, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like early Ty Segall, because Ty Segall is another one of those artists that really fell into, you know, like at first he was really doing the, I don't know, 60s fuzz production with garage, 70s garage rock or something.
Yeah.
But then he started doing experimental, he discovered synthesizers.
Yeah, right? It happens to everyone.
It happens to everyone.
We're all evolving into crabs.
I would have liked to have seen if Nirvana would have eventually included synths in their later work. Maybe the Foo Fighters would have become like a synth pop band or something, or psych band or something. You know, if Kurt Cobain had remained alive.
Who knows? Wow.
You know, the singer of Filter, Richard Patrick, he just denied again in the news that Hey Man, Nice Shot was about Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's his song. I mean, we can't tell him what his song is about. So,
well, actually, he can tell you what his song is about.
Right, he can. And
Yes,
he said
and-
it's not about Kurt Cobain.
Said it's not about Kurt Cobain, but it is about another guy who shot himself
Bud Dwyer.
on camera. Bud Dwyer, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't know it was about him, but I just know Bud Dwyer is kind of a very famous on film suicide.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, kids. Check out Bud Dwyer.
Bud Dwyer.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
Oh man.
So as I mentioned before, if you want to get a hold of us and want us to review your music or somebody else's music, or just talk to us, accelerativ.thrust@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us on Instagram.
Yeah.
All bounce house inquiries, please direct towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make sure that I can get you a bounce house for your event, your life, the rest of your life. That's, you know what? That's the slogan: bounce houses for the rest of your life.
Damn. It's that bounce life.
Bounce, yeah, it's a bounce life.
Oh my God.
You know, what if they changed the White House into a giant white bouncy house?
Yeah.
That could be our biggest client.
Yeah. Well, I hope somebody gets bounced out of there.
A bouncy White House. Rude.
Oh my God.
Crude. Dude.
Oh my God.
Sued.
This is ridiculous. We gotta go. It's crazy. What we're doing is crazy.
Yeah, but you know, no one ever said that we were not crazy.
Bye.
Bye.
And they're like, nope, we know what's best.
We know what's best for you.
Yeah,